I think you have to be pretty resilient to own a small business in this day and age. I think even pre-COVID, opening a brick and mortar is a pretty ballsy move. And now with, hopefully we're getting into that post-COVID era, I think you have to be pretty resilient, pretty ballsy, I guess, to be in this profession. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no special, I don't know, formula for having this be perfect. You kind of just have to roll with it. Do your best to kind of stay true to who you are and why I started this to begin with, and kind of ride it out, ride the ups and downs, and stay resilient to kind of flow with the ups and downs of owning a small business. My name is Diana Marsh, and I opened Thistle and Bess in Ann Arbor, I guess it's 5.5, almost 6 years ago now. I was living in New York City. I was an elementary school teacher, and I started collecting and selling vintage and antique jewelry on Etsy. And I came up with the name Thistle and Bess because my family heritage is Scottish and English. So Thistle is for Scotland, and Bess is for Queen Elizabeth I of England. And that was going really well. I was really getting into it and enjoying it. And my family, I grew up here in Michigan and went to the University of Michigan. My family's here, so I kind of knew that at some point I wanted to come back. And I was visiting family during the holiday, walked by this storefront, the actual physical space, and kind of fell in love. And I had been already researching and planning to open a storefront at some point. So got in contact with the landlord, and the rest is history, I guess. So my great aunt, her name was Margaret, she was a big collector of jewelry, and I inherited a lot of her pieces when she passed away. And she had a lot of quirky, weird things from her travels that I didn't know a lot about, like charms and things like that. So really just the research and finding where these things came from and what they meant was really fun for me. And I realized that antique jewelry just told an interesting story based on the era of when it was made and the materials used, and vintage charms and good luck charms. So I kind of just got obsessed with it and was collecting a lot, and it kind of spurred opening that initial online shop, and now creating the pieces that we make today. In the beginning, I would go to trade shows when I was first starting out to really just kind of get a feel for things that were out there. And then as I started working in Ann Arbor, actually, and living here, I just started meeting a lot of local makers, which was super exciting. And that kind of led to meeting more local makers. So we have a lot of locally made products. Otherwise, I just do research online and look for things that I'm really excited about and love, and then hope that others will feel the same about it. I also really try to make sure I'm looking for things that you're not going to find in a lot of other stores in the area. Things that are special. A lot of the vendors we carry, we're the only store in Michigan that carries it. So we really try to find unique, kind of unusual goods. This last year we launched our own line of fine jewelry. So we now have 3 pieces that I'm working with a jeweler to create, and that's kind of hope that moving forward we can keep expanding into that. So they're not antique pieces, but a lot of them are based on vintage and antique pieces. So it's like a honor to where we started, but a new way of moving forward with the business as well. So when I opened the shop initially, almost 6 years ago, when you're opening a brick and mortar these days, you want it to be open for a reason. So initially, a big goal of mine was to have this space be a community space where we hosted workshops and pop-up shops where you could meet the makers, a lot of different events. So that was something that was really important to me when I opened the shop. And I feel like obviously COVID has put a stop to that. So we aren't hosting workshops or things like that anymore. So it's really just trying to be creative on how to keep that special feeling that you get when you walk into someone's independent store and you see all the special things and you have connections with the people. Trying to keep that going in a world where we're kind of moving more towards online. I think COVID kicked us in the butt and forced us to get a good online presence going, which is something I think you have to have in this day and age. So although we really want to focus on how special our physical space is, you obviously want to open up to people all over the country, and online does that. So I'm really glad that we got forced into that. And hopefully that can continue to grow and introduce more people to the special shop that we have here in Ann Arbor. But looking forward, I can't wait to do more in-person community events and to grow our jewelry line and make that a special thing that we can have that's special to our store as well. I really enjoy collaborating with others. So if I think of all the things we've done throughout our 6 years, we've hosted some really cool pop-up shops. I've had a jeweler come from the UK to visit our store, which was a huge honor. I've had a jeweler, Sophia Zikia, who I've become very close with, come from Montreal to do a pop-up shop. And the fact that these international designers are wanting to make the trip to Ann Arbor to come to our store to do these special events, I think says a lot. And I think I'm really proud of that. I also just love the community that I've created here and all the special projects we've done with local makers and those special connections with people, making it feel like a really lovely knit community. I think that's what I'm most proud of, and I look forward to the day when we can do more of those in-person things together again. I'm proud of the community.